and welcome back to The Boring Show. I'm Emily.
I'm Katerina.
Welcome, Katerina. Katerina is a GDE for Flutter, and we are so thrilled that you can join us on The Boring Show.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. So today we are going to be looking at the Hacker News app again, and Katerina was looking at the code base and pointed out a couple of issues. For starter, well, two things we're going to focus on today. Cleaning up the code base a little bit, and then also we're going to finally implement dark mode.
Yay!
So let's talk a little bit about some of the issues in the code base that you mentioned.
Yes, we use error, we throw errors and we throw exception, and sometimes we misunderstand what we should do. And if we have, if our app has a state that expected to be sometimes, we should throw an exception because it can happen. And if we have like something that it's not expected to be, for example, when we divide by 0, we should, it's an error. And here in Hacker News app, sometimes we throw error, sometimes we throw exception. And
yeah, I admit I am guilty of this. I actually have to look this up every single time I do it because in my head, often the idea of error and exception are synonyms, but as Katerina points out, Dart makes the distinction between errors and exceptions. So when you, the developer, are writing an API or dealing with some sort of problem, that unexpected problem, the correct terminology for what you use varies depending on the type of problem.
Yes, for example, if you create a package and people access your API wrong, for example, you multiply numbers and someone sends you strings, it's an error. And if something is predictable and can happen, it's exception.
Do you have an example of an exception type thing?
For example, when we get data from the internet and we start to parse it, it can fail sometimes, and it doesn't depend on us.
Right. So the input was all correct, but there was something unexpected, like it was malformed XML or something.
Right. And if we try to get an item in array out of range, it's an error. It's something that the program does wrong and fails.
Right. So it's kind of like if it's you, the programmer's fault, or me, the programmer's fault, then it's an error because I should have known, or I should have checked, for example, in the case of an array, the length of the array before accessing the 11th element out of a 10 element array. But if it's I did everything right, I called to get this XML, I parsed it, and then instead this API is giving me a 503 forbidden thing when I try to make that request, that's an exception because, it was just an unexpected thing.
Right.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense. That makes total sense. So let's clean up our code base. So let's see here. I'm gonna use good old grep.
Okay.
And grep for error. Unless you remember off the top of your head where the spots that I should look.
Probably in worker dart.
Worker.dart?
We can look up for error and for exception.
Worker.dart. Okay. Exception. Alright. So this is based on status code. That seems correct.
Yes.
Got some more. Article not parsable. Connection failed. Sure. Those all seem good.
And now let's look up probably for socket.
Speaking of, so look at this. We have a socket exception, and then we decided to throw in Hacker News API error. That might be... I might have been part of that naming of that, so I claim responsibility. So we should rename this, yeah?
Yeah, it should be exception.
And so do we want to extend?
I think we have already class for exception. We just can change it.
Hacker News.
We have Hacker News API exception.
Hacker News exception. Exception. Oh, turns out I can't spell Hacker News API. There we go. It is in hackernewsapi.dart.
In socket exception, here we can throw Hacker News API exception and just like add some parameters because it's already implemented.
Okay, so just switch this to exception. And let's look at the parameters for it. You need a status code. And
It's
a message.
Probably optional. We can use message.
Oh yeah, I see that. Oh, it's just named. That's why it's complaining. Okay, message added. And then response status code is 200. That should be an exception too, yeah?
Right.
Okay. So, exception, message, cool. Anywhere else? Let's look for error.
Yes.
In that file or somewhere else?
We have in worker.dart we have a deserialization error.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, what is it? Probably we can
Jump to oops. That was supposed to be
because if it happens, like if we deserialize data from somewhere and it's kind of coming to us and it should be probably exception.
So this is serializer.dart, which we didn't. This is in built value.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking up deserialization.
There is an issue.
Should be an exception.
So we can leave it here, Hacker News API exception, as it is. Don't change it.
Yeah.
So changing.
So they're saying that actually that API, someone else also mixed up the distinction, but perhaps the issue is still open. So perhaps in the future, we will get that API cleaned up as well.
Great.
Were there any other spots that we should look at, or
I think that's it.
Okay, great. Well, that was relatively painless. And now I just need to remember that exceptions are pretty much what you should be doing, because if you are creating errors, you would probably create errors. You would create an error class more frequently if you're writing an API for someone else to call. But otherwise, just like amongst your own classes, you're probably not going to be creating a class that extends error, because then you're doing it wrong.
Yes, it's a fault of an app and it must be fixed by a developer.
Yes, you should throw an error on the fact that you're writing an error class. Yes. Cool. So dark mode, eh?
Right. Okay.
So this I'm super excited that we're finally getting back to dark mode. If you have been watching for a while, you may recall that Emily and I added this silly little drawer thing with the dream of having a favorites page, a settings page, and adding dark mode in that settings page. And you can see that it doesn't look very great right now. So we have a fair bit to do. But first, let's actually implement dark mode.
Yes, and should we implement Dart mode at the beginning and change it in Android settings, or will we create an item in drawer to change it?
Oh, that's a good point. So, that's actually a good question that I don't know the answer to in terms of what is considered best practices. I know I only have my own experience. We can do an internet search. But so obviously if the user specifies dark mode for their entire OS, for example, Android, then I want my app to respect that.
Right.
But I think also apps, I know, for example, like the Twitter mobile app, on the app level, you can say, like, I want this particular app to be dark mode. So, which would you like to start with?
Let's start with dark mode and change it in Android settings.
Okay.
And after
the
that,
OS level.
Yeah, we
That's
can create item in drawer.
Sounds good. Yeah, because in fact, this will dig more into, like, respecting your operating system's preferences, and then you can do the kind of one-off thing for app. So, where do we go about doing that?
I think we can go to theme data and add dark theme there.
Yes. So this is actually where all this like material design theming stuff is gonna finally pay off.
Material app.
And then jump to the definition. I know I thought it was on theme. Oh, here we go. So material app has a parameter called dark theme. So we just set that to true, false, depending on what our Android things are setting, yeah?
Yes, we can use theme data .dark and set dark theme.
Okay, dark theme data .dark. That's it?
It seems yes.
So
let's see how it works.
Test, yeah. Now, okay, I'm gonna set it in my Android thing, but I'm gonna caution everyone that by doing this, I'm probably gonna lose the connection, because normally if you like start navigating to other apps, then the hot reload thing gets a little angry with you. So it's possible I might have to restart my app again. Sigh. Okay, so just type in dark. No.
Yeah, we should go to settings of device and change theme.
Come back, settings. Katerina, this is embarrassing. I'm not up on the latest Android OS. How do we get to this?
Yeah, we can
scroll down
and again scroll down.
Ah.
And here we have settings.
Okay.
And
dark theme.
Yes.
I was worried there for a second. Okay, dark theme, turn on. Okay, so we got. Whoa! What just? Android. Turn on. And. Nothing! Or do I need to restart it?
We should restart it.
Okay. Let's just kill this. Okay. Start afresh. So while we wait for this to start up, Katerina, what is your favorite thing to talk about as a GDE? I know you go around and give presentations and things or write articles. What is your topic that you're most interested in right now, would you say?
Last talk I gave, it was about state management, about blog. And so I went through some like topics and some cases where blog can be not a very good choice.
Yeah.
I went through some edge cases.
Look at that, it's dark
Yeah.
mode, woo! Well, that was really painless.
Yeah, we can probably like
Test it out a little bit. Let's see, so yeah, the favorite, and it's got
try new stories. It works. And what
And
about
look.
drawer?
Yeah. White.
Yes.
Also, there's nothing there. Wait, before we get too in depth, you want to do the quick summary of what are the use cases when you shouldn't use block? Just for people to know.
In my opinion, from my experience, when we have an app where we have a lot of input fields and we like have validation for every input field, it can be like a lot of streams and things pair to implement this business logic.
So many things to tie together.
Yeah, because we need to validate for every input field and send also validation.
Yeah, that can get pretty overwhelming.
Yes, and another example, when we implement app and we move to another screen and we want to return back. And sometimes user like provided some information on the screen and that we need to save. And when user presses back, because all these saving calls can be sometimes asynchronous, we don't get...
you miss it, just the timing is such that it's not updated in time.
Yes, and sometimes imagine that we want to save the data and it doesn't pass validation or error occurred during saving, but user already left the screen.
I see. Oh no, yeah, that's a problem.
Yes, and actually when user presses the back button, we can like wrap our scaffold with willpop scope widget, and on willpop callback, we can prevent them from going back
until it's returned and validated.
It's the data was saved to the database, and show probably like some confirmation dialogues also if there are some validation errors.
Cool. Those are all good reasons. Thank you for the quick summary. All right, so back to dark mode. So we've got this sad little drawer that is not obeying dark mode. Oh, we can also check the search thing. Oh, that works.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
We should look, because I don't know actually, should the search bar also dark mode, be dark in dark mode? I don't know. We could look. We'll do the drawer first, but a few things to clean up, but we're close. So that's pretty cool. All right, so this drawer.
We can have a look what we have in drawer.
Yes. Where do we have our drawer? It's been a little bit since I poked at this code. Drawer. There we go. Oh, look at that. That might be a problem.
Yes.
Why did we do that? We'll never know.
We can remove it and see what happens.
Oh, well that was easy. Is that really all there is to it? So we just randomly hard-coded that? Should we test it back to white and see if there's a problem?
Yes, let's check light mode, what we changed.
Yeah. Alright, and then we're gonna have to start up again, so this is a little annoying. Why is my...
Now it's...
Yeah, it's being a little finicky. Alright, let's kill that again. Let's see what else is going on here. Just to make sure that we don't have any other color things that are... Doesn't look like we've got any. I'll search colors dot refresh indicator. That's okay. That can be because that's just a little. Primary color. Where do we use primary color? Theme data. Yeah, that seems okay. Color. Canvas color.
And
I don't know what canvas color is. I'm gonna have to... Oh, I just pressed F5 again. No! Okay, I gotta start again. Sorry. We were so close to building. Canvas color, jump to definition. Whoa. What is this? This is part of theme data. Doesn't really explain what it is, but we can... Oh, here we go. Default color
of canvas.
Canvas. Well, obviously. Alright, okay, so we're back. White. Oh, no!
So, and we have canvas color and it's black.
Oh, so this is a canvas. Possibly.
Yes. Do we need this canvas color?
No, I don't know why we have it. Let's do a quick search to see if I'm using canvas anywhere else. Everyone is learning how much I grep for is development with Emily. No, we literally just use that. I don't know why we did that. Let's get rid of it. Oh, that's so much better.
Yes. And we don't need to hard code a color.
That's, so there's one thing to take away is in a world where people can customize your themes, you should not hard code. Just generally, hard coding is bad. It's probably the main takeaway that probably no one needed us to show, but here we are illustrating it further. Let's see.
Let's have a look in the app.
Yeah?
Probably something was changed.
Oh, I see.
Bottom bar.
Oh my gosh, I just did that again. What is going on? App isn't available.
We didn't see bottom bar.
Oh, it just went away. I see.
So this color was used in bottom bar.
Mm-hmm. Let's look a little bit about this material canvas. Material canvas color. Oh, that's not useful. Material design? There we go. Well, that's Flutter. But I'm just curious about canvas in general. Design. Canvas color. I guess that's just a Flutter thing. Material type canvas. I think we could improve our documentation in this area. Let's see, canvas. Rectangle. That's really not very helpful at all, is it?
So, Flutter like paints on canvas.
Mm-hmm.
So we can choose a color of canvas where we paint elements.
Depending on whether it's dark theme or light theme, we'll just select one versus the other, you suggesting? Okay, yeah.
So now probably we need to fix a color for like bottom navigation.
And I'm gonna try and hobby load, but I won't be surprised if it didn't because I was messing with the app switching and did weird things on Android. So let's see here. Back to... So are you suggesting in theme data just having canvas color and then detecting whether it's dark and setting it? Or what do you recommend?
I think I've never used like canvas color when I was developing apps. Probably we need to specify color for like bottom navigation bar, and let's see what we have in bottom navigation. Probably we don't have color, or what is there? Oh yeah, probably it will work as well.
I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that's... Do you have theme data that is dark? Theme data... That returns a theme data. Dark. Primary color dark. Let's search again. Flutter, determine if dark mode. Media query.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good old media query. Platform brightness. So, let's just test this. We can also do what you were suggesting as well, but I'm curious about this too. Why does it not like that? Conditions must have a static. Oh, because this is in a constructor. And it's like at the... Oh, we can also do theme brightness. Let's try that. Is this gonna work? I'm skeptical because we are constructing the theme right here. Brightness. Yeah, that's not gonna work either. Okay, what were you suggesting?
I suggest to check what colors we have in bottom navigation bar. Probably there is something there.
Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything set. Are you suggesting setting something specifically there?
Let's try.
Okay. Let's get our app back. So what do we have here? We've got this smaller. Background color, selected item.
We can try background color and see what happens if we set it to black. Whether will it be black or not.
Okay. And here's where the hot reload might be a little... Oh, it did work. Okay, good. Alright, but now we've got this black thing on a
Yes.
light theme. So, can we test for dark mode here?
Yes.
Yeah? So, let's try what I was just searching. Theme of context. Brightness. It doesn't like that this is not known at compile time. Like,
Probably we should compare it to brightness dark or brightness light because it's not a boolean.
Oh my gosh. That's why that was happening. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I'm a little slow. So, okay, equals brightness dot dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then if so, then we can call it black. If otherwise, call it white. Okay, so we can do that up. Sometimes I am... Oh. Alright, so that's the background color. But that's... We're back where we started. because why don't we do...
Can we style somehow
the text?
Like bottom navigation?
That is what this is.
Okay.
This is bottom navigation. Is there a different property we should look at? I mean, we could do the text as well, but... I thought. Font. Selected item color, unselected item color. Fixed color, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fixed color is a backwards compatibility thing, so I don't want that. So there's selected item color and unselected item color.
It's probably when we select,
Right.
when we tap.
Which one versus the other one. So we could specify that hard code. I don't love that. But we can do it to start with, I guess. In which case maybe we want to pull this out. That is a big build method that we should refactor. Dark mode. Okay, so what was I was looking at selected and color unselected. Or do we want, well, okay. So they're both currently white, I guess. Copy this logic. This should be a little, actually, okay.
Do we want to change color if item is selected, or should we just have black or
Black or what do you mean?
so before we had bottom bar navigation and it was black colored.
Right.
So should we leave it? How will it look in dark theme?
Right. Well, that's why I was saying like we test whether it is, but now we have to specify selected item color and unselected item color, which I don't love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is fine, but well, okay, and then I'll test dark mode just for. Oh, it was just slow.
It looks good.
Yeah.
In dark theme. And what about drawer? Did we fix it? Yes.
What surprises me is the selected item color we specified to be white here, and it's green. Is it time to pull out the inspector? Because I'm not sure what's going on. Do you know what's going on?
No.
Well, let's open the DevTools.
Should we call set state when we no. Here
No,
not.
because
It's
there's nothing
comes from
changing
theme.
in the program itself. Let's select the widget. Make this smaller. Yeah. Bottom navigation bar. Let's look at that. I thought the icon would be simple. Let's look at text. Rich text. Where do we have style? Size, direction. Am I missing something? Do you see
Probably
it?
we should have a look on this box where we have not on text.
Oh,
Now we still have.
Because it expands. It's like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get that. There we go. So, that's the semantics thing, but that's the bottom navigation tile. What are you looking for on that one?
I try to find some styles.
No style. Color. Oh, clearly the search is not working here because there's.
I see only icon theme, but it's not something we need.
Yeah. Okay. How about we table this and I will ask the people and we'll come back with the answer next time. I do want to. I think I just said the wrong thing. I do want to. Let's see. So when I was looking at doing canvas color up top, that would only change like these things here. Let me stop the widget mode thing or the select widget.
Right, and also this color was used in Drawer as default color.
Right. And so now it's in dark mode, but like, because we haven't specified it in drawer, right? So it's better if we can put it up top.
Right.
Right. So let us, we need to pull this file is getting big. Dark mode. I'm going to canvas color, and we were using theme. Not double quote, question mark. And let me remove this. Okay, and if we swap this. Interesting. Maybe. Did I type something wrong? If the dark mode, then
Probably we check it wrong somehow. How to.
Sorry, what are you saying?
Is it the right way to check whether we are in
Dark mode or not?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. It looked like you could do media query.of or the themes. Use the theme itself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe because we haven't constructed a dark mode theme. What was it? Platform brightness. Let me, just for grins, I'm going to restart this because I'm a little bit skeptical. If not, let's see.
So we want, if we are in dark theme, we want to have black color.
Yes.
And if we in light theme, we want to have white.
Right.
But probably it's good to have always black. Because, so as it was before, the color of bottom navigation was black, and
Oh, it was? I thought it was white originally.
no, it was black. And I was thinking that we will have the same color for bottom bar and for the main screen, and we won't see where
What is going on?
And I think black color will be.
Oh no. Be aware of the context of the. Oh, because I think this is because yes, material context. The context has not been built yet. But let's try theme. This probably won't work either. Brightness. Oh, that does work. Oh. Okay, so it was a connection thing.
Yes.
Okay, so we have this, and we got the white there, and now just for grins, dark theme. Oh, and it's like not. Oh.
No, it works as expected. I mean, canvas color.
And we don't have the. Oh, it was a hot reload thing. It was because we had swapped and it lost the connection. It was holding old properties, even though it was pretending like it was hot reloading. Woo! Okay, so the moral of the story is, whenever you swap out to a different app, don't trust your connection, even if it pretends like you it's normal.
But at least, I mean, it works as expected.
Yes.
It changes.
Yes.
But do we want to keep white background color for bottom bar in light theme?
It was so it really was white when we started.
It was black when we started.
Sorry. Yes. Okay, so then, oh my gosh, and that's because we
lost
haven't
connection again.
But okay, so what you're suggesting is so we'll keep it black as originally was when we started in the light theme. But then, what do you think we should do in dark theme? It should be black again, probably.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it should be black because
white.
It will be too big contrast.
Yes.
Between black color and
then
white color.
We don't even have to do this silly if business. We're just always. No.
What about drawer?
Right. I see. And so this is why you were saying specify on the bottom navigation bar specifically.
Yes, because we wanted black all the time.
Okay.
And
got it. Sorry, I was a little slow here. This is not my best episode. So where we were, bottom navigation bar.
And
always be black.
Right.
And we
don't need probably the selected item and
so.
Unselected because it's extra logic.
Yes, because in dark mode, but in light mode, will it know to make them white? Make the text white? Because normally in light mode, the text is black.
Yes.
So will we have to specify it? I mean, we can test. But...
Yeah, let's test what we have.
This actually is, in a way, a motivation for implementing it in our... oh, look at that. So, yeah, it does know that if the color is black, to do the right thing and change the text. So,
yes.
So we did it!
But I think it takes this color from primary color, because our primary color of the app is white.
Yes. Wait, what takes the color from primary color?
I mean,
these things?
Yes.
Oh, the text.
Yeah.
I see. Yep. And in dark mode, it gets overridden to do that kind of greenish color when it's selected.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've got that. Do we want to add it in our settings thing?
Yes, why not? Do we have still time?
Yeah, we've got some time. A little bit of time left. So, and this, we can add it so we can toggle it with the benefit of not potentially losing our app connection and being confused. So let's get to the settings page. Maybe I will pull up the inspector because I don't. Nope, I don't know what I did there. Command palette, DevTools.
So, how do we implement this? We will have toggle here for dark theme, and will we share these settings in shared preferences? And when we change it, we change it in theme.
Yes, let me pull up settings page. Where's the settings page? I'm gonna do a grep again. Oh, in pages settings. That would be the obvious. That's the one place that I don't have maximized. Okay, settings. Yes, it's a very exciting page. All right, so we'll have a toggle. And let's just start with that. I can't remember if we disconnected our thing or not. Let's see. Is it a switch? And switch takes a value unchanged. So we want this to become a stateful widget.
Yes.
So it can hold that value. Or wait, so you were saying put it in shared preferences. And would we just always read from that then?
Probably we need to change it immediately. We need to save it in like state management probably. I mean in provider, because when it changed we need to get these updates immediately.
Yes. And shared preferences is going to be an asynchronous thing. Okay, so let's look at our good old... What do we have in provider? We've got our preferences. That seems like a good... preference, notifier. Shared preferences. So... Show web view. Where are we using this? Nowhere. There we go. Show web view. Oh, this is when we tap on... we're showing an actual web page. So, why are we saving? Why do we have a Boolean in our That seems odd. I'm gonna make a note to come back to this. Because why is whether we show a web view or not in a shared preferences? That seems very strange. Okay. Meanwhile, so we can add something in this change notifier that says user dark mode or something like that.
Yes, and shared preferences to save the latest, like to get the latest value.
Yes. So let's see.
So you don't come back to light mode if user wants to use always.
Right. User dark mode. And what's going on here? Why are they passing a... They're just returning the function, but they're not passing anything. Do you see what I'm confused about?
Yes.
This class is very strange. Okay, so we're gonna ignore that, whatever they're doing there. And we want to say, if we want to test if they first check the user preferences. If it's not set, then fall back to system default.
Yes.
But this, we just want to first check. Where's load shared preferences? Notify listeners. Save new preferences. Well, we can copy a variant of this for saving dark mode, though. Or wait, I don't even need to. This just saves all of them. So we could add another thing that's user dark mode.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to say current preferences dot has, what are we doing here? Current preferences, new value. This is setting it. If it's already there. Preference state. Alright, we'll add another variable here. Shouldn't these be optional?
Mm-hmm.
User mode, and that will be not caps.
User.
Oh, thank
mode.
you, thank you. And if I can spell false correctly, false. And these are named now, so show web view. I guess they could be positional, but I made them named. Oh well. User dark mode. So, oh, I see what's going on. This was just confusing because we have show web view. It's in 3 places.
Okay.
So this one is actually reading this property rather than calling this.
Oh, I see.
I was like, why are we calling a setter and that returns whether it's true or not? Okay, So, and we're about to do the same thing. So let's call this user set dark mode, just to distinguish that a little bit. User set dark mode. And then here we will make our own version, our own setter. This is not ordered correctly, by the way. I'm going to move these up because the your constructor should be after your variables, but before any other information. Okay, we're really close. User dark mode. And show user set dark mode. Preference state. Oh, and now we want to say show web view. We want our current. Maybe we should change this to take an old one. Or wait, why are we constructing a whole new thing anyway? Oh, it's saying if it doesn't exist at all. Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is user set dark mode. Okay, so we got it in our provider.
Yes.
Now let's go to our settings page. So we can say, what is the name? Prefs notifier dot of context.
Mm-hmm. And switch has value and on parameters.
We might need to import that. There we go, and it's something different. Where is this used? Let's find out how they use it. I see. So I was like, why is no one is using this web view variable? It would seem like, unless change notifier provider, prefs notifier. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm just gonna. Oh. Prefs notifier provider.of.
Mm-hmm.
I never get the verbiage right. Provider prefs notifier. And we have to import provider. And it's gonna be not happy because it's we want prefs notifier dot something, whatever the value is.
We user dark mode. And also we need to implement on change.
Mm-hmm. So on changed. So now this is what, when you click on that switch, what will happen. So unchanged, they have a bool, even though it's only two values. New value. And
here,
so we're going to set
new value
provider. Or is it prefs notifier dot set? No, we have to use that particular object. That's right. That particular version. So this thing dot set, or just user dark mode and then assign new value. And we have some errors. User dark mode is not defined. Was it user set dark mode? Okay, two main positional arguments. That is because we're creating a new one. So show review. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
we don't have getter for use dark mode
Yeah.
somehow.
So we want to add that. And let me just check because I named it slightly differently here. But user dark mode. Oh, user. Whew. Oh my gosh. And okay. And then it's defined
User set.
It's my own fault. Okay, I think we are in business. It's possible we lost things because value is not true. What is going on? Oh,
Probably
because it's never been set, and so we need a default value for that, and it's because we loaded share preferences before we had done all these things. So I think we need to do a hot restart.
yes.
Let's try that.
Okay, we have our featured list.
All right. What is assertion must not be null? List view int. What? Boolean expression must not be null. What is the Boolean expression? Do you think it's...
Probably,
Should we just kill and start
I
over?
think we don't initialize our shared preferences because when we read them, there is nothing. User doesn't save any preferences, and we should get them from the system.
Yes, but I thought that we had... I thought there was... In load share preferences, see we're checking if that variable exists, and if not, we just return false.
I see.
Let me... I just don't trust it. Because we've been messing with it so much. While that goes, I'm also going to just wrap this in a little... I don't know why this isn't a container. Let's get rid of that. That seems silly. But we should wrap this in a column and put text that just says use dark mode. So it's not like there's a random switch here. Column text use dark mode. Okay, so settings. Boolean must not be null. What is... There we go. Refresh indicator. Preferences, show web view. Is this... We are using show web view. But something... Boolean expression must not be null. How did we mess this up? Because it seems like maybe I somehow messed up with this shared preference when I changed things. But I don't know how I did that. Show web view. says... Oh, that's not... So we just look for that value. And by... Let's just give these default values. Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, we're setting them here, but just for grins. Hot restart. I'm trying to think, where are these constructed? Oh, actually, I think I know maybe where this happens, because this gets constructed at the top of main, and since I added those optional things, we may have not initialized them. I'll look in a second. Alright, so... Okay, cool. So what I think happened is, provider at the top, it constructs a shared preferences object, and it wasn't... We had only done it in that prefs page. We were adding that. So, okay, so we're really close. Now we just need to actually make use of this value.
Yes.
So instead of in our main thing, we should check, instead of like theme.dark, or...
We should check for brightness.
Yes. We should check for if this value is set from the provider thing.
Yes.
So we will do provider.of, and it's called pref state, of course. State. And dot users. And if true, then we want to say theme.dark. Wait, this... No. Because this checks to see if the system does it.
And probably we should check for brightness in theme data. And, I mean, theme data has brightness. And if brightness is dark, so if our user set dark mode, we change brightness to dark. If not, brightness light. Something like this.
So...
not here. I think... Okay.
What are you suggesting?
I suggest to go like to theme data, and theme data has brightness parameter. And like we can change brightness to dark, light, and dark theme. I think it comes from the Android settings.
Oh, but
I'm not sure.
But right, but wouldn't this then? The question is which one gets overridden, right? Because I think what we want is we want the user setting to override the Android settings potentially.
Right.
Where did this go? Sorry. So you're saying brightness, theme data brightness. Wait, didn't we have this? No? Do we not have brightness already specified? We'll test this.
Yes, let's see.
Woo! That's fun. Could not provide provider because provider... Where do we construct a provider? Is it up ahead? Run app, multi-provider. Is it consumer? Is that what we need? No.
Do we construct this provider here, like we're multi-provider?
I thought we did. Pref state. No, we don't. Where does this get constructed? Good old grep again. Pref state. Line numbers. Oh, that's pref notifier, sorry. Oh no, but we want pref notifier, not pref state. Because pref state is the underlying thing of the notifier. Notifier. Pref notifier? Oh my gosh, what was it? Pref's notifier. I had it. It still doesn't like it. It's constructed in line 32. And I'm probably not typing something correctly if it thinks I have a... Oh, because I can't spell modifier. Woo! User dark mode. Alright. Hot restart on that.
Let's try to change it.
Yes. Oh. Okay. So that is... Brightness is only changing the text.
Yes.
So I think theme data.dark is getting... Let's read up about this. Let's say if it's specified, then you want to use dark theme or dark theme. If it's not this, then you do light theme. Otherwise, you do dark. Because it's either the... So, if it's not that, do dark theme. Otherwise, theme data dot light. Oops, not lerp. Ah, stop light. Okay, let's try that. Get rid of all this. Okay. Settings, dark mode.
Because probably settings of phone are light. Should we like change not dark theme, just theme?
Yes.
Because it always takes...
Right. This is what dark mode should look like when it is specified. I understand now. Okay. So let's undo that. We're so close. We're so close. Okay. So theme, we say, is a dark mode. If so, if it's dark mode, or we have the system properties which already detects that, so that's just a fallback. What are we? If it's dark mode, or can we just do this again to get the system, do you think? Get the brightness. We're specifying a theme.
Yeah. Let's try.
Okay. For this, then it would be nice if we could... We're going to copy paste for a minute to test things out. Get rid of that business. And actually,
what does a theme dark does? Can we have a look? what exactly it changes in theme data?
Yes. This thing?
Yes, it changed just brightness to dark. So
but didn't
probably
we just do that? Yeah, we had that here. Oh, but because we had explicitly specified canvas color here. So we just have to do it in 2 places, I think. We need to... Because before... Here, I'll cut this. This horrible, horrible long line thing that I've done. Okay, so we specified that, and that just made the text essentially go away because it wasn't doing this. But that's because we specified this hard coding, right?
Mm-hmm. Let's try to restart it because I'm not sure whether we're still connected.
Okay. Yeah, I'll full and kill it. This might be our problem here. So we are the text. Well, the text is changing. It's the background that's not changing. Okay. So we are in dark mode. It's that text. The text is respecting our user thing, but the background is not.
Mm-hmm.
The canvas we want that. Let's see. We want to see if the theme is dark or you specify dark mode. I'm inclined to come back to this because we're basically out of time. We're really close.
Let's check whether dark theme works when we change Android settings.
Oh yeah, good call. Okay, so
that this part is implemented.
Yes, that part we know. Dark theme here. And that is good. And we've got our settings. So we just need to so right now you can see that the Android default is overriding whatever we're doing here. So we'll tweak that. But the real question I have is why that background color is not changing. But that just means you'll have to tune in next time we have our Boring Show episode, and we will figure that out. So thank you so much for joining us today, Katerina.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Do you have any other last things that you would like to share with our Flutter programming audience?
Flutter is great.
This wasn't me trying to require you to boast about things, but I was just curious. Yeah, if where can they find you, or talks or any materials if they have questions about Block or anything like that? How can they find you?
They can ask me questions on Twitter, or
do you want to tell them your Twitter handle?
Yeah. Catch your bit.
Okay.
And also I have articles on Medium. So, yeah.
And be sure to applaud Katerina. She's written good stuff.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. And until next time, we will see you again.